retarded their development. To make himself feel better, he forced them to remain children, or teenagers for that matter, and they're still emotionally teenagers. Their lives are falling apart, and everything is beginning to crack. And Brian Cox just did an exceptional job of bringing out this vital part of the play. He did not provide any of the genuine or false paternalism that Mitchum and Sorvino brought to the role. He revealed the really unattractive and abrasive underside of the man. And let me tell you, when he goes into his final, when the coach towards the play's end launches into his final vitriolic, racism-filled, really self-serving and wrathful monologue, it's really a monologue that it's not Shakespearean by any means, but for some reason, when Cox was delivering the monologue with such wrath, all I could think of was King Lear on the heath, raging at the elemental forces and at his no-good daughters who've gotten him into this fix. And so that most important part of the play was brought out beautifully, and I think that while the play has obviously become a modern classic of sorts, I hope that this revival will allow people to see it with new eyes, and will also, and that it will lead to an increase of interest in this play, that it will become even more of a staple of the current repertory than it already is. And oh yes, before I reach my destination and run out of batteries in my little camcorder, there is one other thing I would like to add. The very first time I saw the film version of that championship season, the one directed by Jason Miller with Robert Mitchum, when I saw that, I really liked the story until I got to the end, and I've already given away enough spoilers, but it seemed like a very tacked-on, phony, happy ending of sorts to me. When I saw Paul Sorvino's TV version, I thought better of the ending because it seemed a little less schmaltzy, it seemed a little less contrived, seemed a little less like a happy ending than a sort of semi-happy ending where the characters find the strength to remember how good winning the championship felt. That gives them the courage to go on in spite of all the unpleasant things they've learned about each other and about their father figure, the coach. But in this production, there was the ending did not really seem happy at all. It seemed rather a very sad act of desperation in which the characters, far from patching things up or applying balm to their tortured souls, it seemed as if the characters were clutching at a pathetic straw, and that the fact that it made them feel better and enabled them to end the play in peace showed how little their lives were, showed how wrecked and paltry their lives had become, and also pointed out with devastating effect the true nature of the play. And anything else to add? Well, if you are in New York, if you can make it to New York at any time between now and I believe the end of May is when it ends, it's limited engagement, then please, I implore you, drop everything else, sell your blood, skip several meals, and get tickets to see this play. It's really exceptional. And lastly, if there's one thing I really hate in criticism, it's when critics find ideas or allusions or influences and references in a work of art, of creative art, that isn't really there. They say, oh, there's something Shakespearean about this, or oh my gosh, this is Tolstoyan, or is it Dostoevskian, or my gosh, this series of symbols is cribbed straight from T.S. Eliot, who cribbed it straight from Andrew Marvell and James Frazier's magnum opus, The Golden Bough. I would just like to say one little pretentious allusion of my own, and I'm not saying this to make myself sound smart or to say I know more about the play than the author did, but still, something stuck in my head. I can't shake the notion that this play was heavily influenced by Chekhov's, what I think is Chekhov's masterpiece, Uncle Vanya, because not only is that play about people who try to reach higher than their circumstances or their own personal weaknesses permit, and then end up sadly and pretty much resigned to their fates in a situation that it plays in is exactly the way it was at the beginning of the play. Also, there is, if you know the play, and this isn't too much of a spoiler, I hope, there's a gimmick in the play about someone attempting to shoot a gun in sudden anger. One character tries to shoot another character and fails. That, if you know Uncle Vanya, you'll remember that there's a moment in the play where one character, if memory serves, blindly fires a pistol at another character, but doesn't really intend to hurt him any, and or if he does attempt to hurt sorry about the pause there, I was concentrating on where I was going, which I hope you'll agree must take precedence. There's a moment where the one character fires a pistol at another, but either fails to hit him or never really intended to hit him in the first place, just wanted to scare him. I can't shake the notion that this current play I'm talking about, that championship season, owes a lot to Uncle Vanya. Anyway, it's a superb piece, like I said, one of the finest ensemble pieces I've seen on stage anywhere in all my too many years of playgoing life, and I encourage you to see it, and to everyone involved with it, including the late Mr. Miller, I salute you and say, good work. Now, have a good day, and have fun at the play.